Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to trace the journey of our food, from the actual soil where it's grown all the way to our plates. And that journey, well, it passes through this really complex and honestly pretty controversial system in India. It's a system that really holds the fate of millions of farmers in its hands.
All right, so let's start with a question that it really gets right to the heart of this whole thing. Why is it that the very people who grow our food, who feed an entire nation, so often struggle to get a fair price? I mean, it's a huge paradox, right? And it affects millions. So today we're going to dig in and try to figure out why. So to really get a grip on this system, you got to start where the food starts, on the farm. Because for a farmer, every single season, it's a huge gamble. We're talking incredibly high stakes. I mean, just think about it. You pour months of back-breaking labor and all your savings into the ground. You're constantly fighting unpredictable weather, rising costs for everything. It's a massive risk. And everything, absolutely everything, is riding on the hope that all that hard work actually pays off when you get to the market. Okay, so to protect farmers from all that uncertainty, a system was created. You can think of it like a guardian, right? Something designed to stand between the farmer and a marketplace that could easily take advantage of them. And this guardian has a name, the APMC, or the Agricultural Produce Market Committee. Now, the idea behind it was actually pretty simple and, really noble. The goal was to create these regulated, government-run marketplaces where farmers could sell their stuff through transparent options and get a fair price. The whole point was to keep them safe from exploitation. And it's so important to remember why this was created in the first place. This system was born from a very, very real problem. Back in the day, farmers were often totally at the mercy of local moneylenders and traders. These guys would basically force them to sell their grain for next to nothing. The APMC was supposed to be their shield. But what happens when that guardian, the very system that's designed to protect farmers, starts to become part of the problem itself? Well, this is where the idea crashes right into reality. The very places meant to be a safe haven can actually turn into a source of financial stress. You've got all these different fees and taxes, they call them levies, that get charged on every single sale. It's like death by 1,000 cuts, just eating away at the farmers' already razor-thin profits. So yeah, let's break down the pressures a farmer's up against. It's almost never just one thing. It's like this cascade of problems. First, you've still got traders who can find ways to manipulate prices. Then you have those crazy excessive fees we just talked about. On top of that, you're dealing with market prices for things like onions or tomatoes that can just plummet without any warning. And the final punch? All of this adds up to one thing. Farmers often can't even make back the money they spent just to grow the crop. And look, this is not a theoretical problem. This has absolutely devastating real-world consequences. Just take onion farmers, for instance. Right now, we're seeing prices collapse so badly that many of them are facing huge losses. They literally can't even get back what they put in. Okay, so the system is clearly flawed. That brings up a huge question. What does a better future actually look like? If you ask a farmer, what do they really need to not just survive, but to succeed? Well, it turns out farmers have a super clear vision. And guess what? It's about way more than just the price. This here is like a roadmap to a much healthier system. See, fair and transparent pricing, that's just step one. That's the foundation. But it has to be backed up by everything else. Getting good quality seeds and fertilizer, getting solid advice on farming techniques, having access to affordable loans, and of course, getting crucial, timely info about the market. And you need better roads and storage so the food doesn't spoil. It's all connected. You can't have one without the others. So let's pivot to a really modern solution. Let's see how technology is trying to fill at least one of those big gaps we just talked about, specifically that need for good, timely information. So to tackle that information gap, the Maharashtra State Agriculture Marketing Board did something pretty cool. They launched a digital tool, a mobile app. The idea is actually super simple. Let's put the power of real-time market data right into the farmer's hands. And this comparison really highlights the potential shift in power. I mean, think about it. The old way, you're just guessing. You show up at the market pretty much blind. The new way? A farmer can check real-time prices before they even leave home. They can see how much of their crop has already shown up at the market that day. It's the difference between flying blind and having a GPS. It's a move from pure guesswork to actual informed strategy. But as it is with pretty much any new tech, there's a catch. Having a powerful tool is one thing,
But being able to use it, that's a whole other ballgame.
And here it is. This is the final crucial hurdle, what people call the digital divide. The main issue is that a lot of farmers in rural areas, they don't even know these apps exist. You can build the best app in the world, but it means absolutely nothing if the people it's for never even hear about it. So this digital gap really comes down to a few basic but massive barriers. First, just a simple lack of awareness. Then, even if they hear about it, they might not know how to download and install it. And even if they get that far, they might not be sure how to actually use the features to their advantage. What this all points to is a huge need for simple, on-the-ground training and awareness camps to bridge that gap.
And so that leaves us with this final, really important question to think about. Technology can open the door to all this information for sure, but who is going to be there to help the farmer actually walk through it? It's just a powerful reminder that innovation by itself isn't enough. It has to be paired with real, hands-on education to make any meaningful change.